Coming up on Racehorse Digest, the Jekyll and Hyde sprinter Artax runs a big one in New York with crowd control. Kentucky's Turfway Park holds its six-race, $1.15 million Kentucky Cup Day, plus expanded quarter horse coverage from California and Arizona. All this plus Trainer of the Month, next on National Car Rental Racehorse Digest. Hi, I'm Randy Moss with ESPN's weekly recap of horse racing. Our own version of the Millennium Clock Countdown shows 5 weeks to the Breeders' Cup at Gulfstream Park. And in this week's thoroughbred races, a couple of new contenders pop up. Perhaps the most improbable surfaced in the weekend's richest stakes, the $500,000 Kentucky Cup Classic Handicap. The finale of Turfway Park's six-race, $1.15 million afternoon. Our final odds, courtesy of Las Vegas, show 3-year-old Cat Thief there. Number 2 is the 9-5 favorite over the 1 and 1A entry of True Luck and Social Charter at 2-1. Classic Cat was also 2-1. The Kentucky Cup Classic, one of the biggest races of the year at Turfway Park. And with the call of the 1 1/8 race, here's Mike Battaglia.
Cat Thief still has a short lead. Night Dreamer second. Now gaining ground from the outside. Social Charter. It's Social Charter and Cat Thief. Social Charter moves by and gets the lead. Here comes True Luck in the center of the track. Cat Thief is now third. The Devil is gaining ground. Then Night Dreamer Classic Cat has dropped out of it into the stretch. The Devil on the outside just sweeps by and gets a short lead. Still down along the inside, Social Charter. Here comes Cat Thief coming back again on the inside. The Devil, Cat Thief, and Social Charter, but it's the Devil. The Devil springs the upset by a half length over Social Charter and Cat Thief.
Trainer Forrest Kalin said he didn't bet on him. Jockey Calvin Burrell didn't either. Only one of his 4 owners showed up for the race, and at 65-1, the public didn't like his chances. But Da Devil wins by a half length in the biggest upset in the 6-year Kentucky Cup history. Burrell helped by keeping Da Devil outside in the best footing. Cat Thief ran third, True Luck fourth, and Classic Cat seventh. Da Devil might run next in another classic, the Breeders' Cup Classic, where he'd likely be rematched with Cat Thief. The weekend's only Grade 1 was the 7-furlong Vosburgh at Belmont Park. Crafty Friend, going for his 3rd straight graded win, was the 4-5 favorite over Storm and Fever and Artax. After a half in 44-3, they head for home.
4 lengths to Mountaintop. Liberty Gold is rallying on the inside, and Intidab off the turn into the stretch. Artax is the leader coming to the 8th pole. Artax is pulling away from Crafty Friend. Storm and Fever on the outside. Intidab is now 4th, and Mountaintop down to the final 16th. Artax is clear by 4. Then Storm and Fever, Mountaintop, and Intidab. A big win for Artax today. 4 lengths on the finish line.
Artax was on top of his game in the Vosburgh, ending a 6-race losing streak under Jorge Chavez. Now he'll be pointed for the Breeders' Cup Sprint, even though he's 0 for 5 at 6 furlongs. Crafty Friend, a disappointing 5th, but apparently still Breeders' Cup bound also. Artax looked all-world when he won Aqueduct's Carter on Kentucky Derby weekend. Then came the infamous Pimlico race, in which a spectator ran onto the track and tried to punch him. Now the 4-year-old is back in the winner's circle. ESPN's presentation of National Car Rental Racehorse Digest is brought to you by National Car Rental. So what are you waiting for? Let's go. By the United Thoroughbred Trainers of America, publisher of the Backstretch magazine. And by Walmack, winning the world over. The money one standings for thoroughbreds becoming boring, actually, but number 3, Menifee, could get closer to the retired Charismatic this weekend if he wins the $500,000 Super Derby at Louisiana Downs. And coming attractions on the Breeders' Cup National Stakes schedule. Friday, the Indiana Breeders' Cup Oaks at Hoosier, and on Saturday, the Miami Breeders' Cup Handicap at Calder. The other Belmont Park Stakes Saturday on the Vosburgh undercard was the Belmont Breeders' Cup Handicap. Grade 2 for older horses at 1 1/8 on turf. The betting favorite is 3-2 Tangazi, who will be running third on the rail in Alan Paulson's colors. But wait till you see what happens to Tangazi. Keep your eyes on him. He's lucky just to stay on his feet.
Then it's Military in between horses. Here comes Wised Up, charging on the outside from fifth. Then Cynics Beware. Comic Strip is drawn within 6 lengths of the lead. They're at the top of the stretch. It's Virgins driving on a short lead. With the Flow is there. Wised Up, charging hard on the outside. Then Tangazi. Comic Strip's 4 lengths behind. Less than a furlong to go. With the Flow is now in front. With the Flow is the leader. Here comes Comic Strip moving late. Wised Up between horses. Nothing left for Virgins. It is With the Flow who holds on to win it.
The pace a little slow, and Long Shot With the Flow holds on for Dairy Meeting Farm. Trainer Christophe Clement and jockey Jose Santos. Another good showing for Comic Strip, a Breeders' Cup Mile candidate. A rare troubled trip for Jerry Bailey on Tangazi, who was 6th. Divide and Conquer scratched. Pennsylvania bred With the Flow took a Group 3 last year in France. This his first U.S. Stakes victory. He hadn't run in almost 3 months because he came back sore from his last race at Clement. He's okay now. Back to Turfway for their big 2-year-old races. First, the Kentucky Cup Juvenile Fillies at a mile. Favorite at 9-5 is Regally Appealing, and she's moving to the lead in the White Silks. This is the filly, remember, who won the Adirondack at Saratoga. Trainer John Kimmel sent her to Turfway to try 2 turns for the first time. Turned out to be a good spot for her. She edges away to score by 1.5 lengths, and in the saddle, Edgar Prado. Huge long shots, as you see there, 2nd and 3rd. Regally Appealing now to Calder for a race next month as a prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, but she'll have to step up her game. Her time in this Turfway race, a slow 1:41.13. That won't cut it against Chaluki. She was 6 wide on the first turn, but Saturday was another of those funky days at Turfway where everyone was winning in the middle of the track. These colts in the Kentucky Cup Juvenile win 1 1/16. Ellis Park Juvenile winner Personal first on the rail, battling with the Wayne Lucas-trained Millencolin, and it's Millencolin in the colors of the Padua stable, gradually drawing clear. Jockey Pat Day showed so much class after getting DQ'd on Hawksley Hill in Canada. He said, hey, it was rider error. No errors in this one, though. Millencolin by 2. An improving son of DeHare, who broke his maiden last month at Saratoga. Millencolin, according to Lucas. Lucas says the Breeders' Cup's in the back of my mind. There's a shocker. With Lucas, the Breeders' Cup is always in the front and the sides of his mind, too. He's the all-time leading Breeders' Cup trainer. The sprinters at Turfway ran in, you guessed it, the Kentucky Cup Sprint. Recall that the winner of this race last year was Re-Rays, who went on to capture the Breeders' Cup Sprint and a championship. You're about to see another powerful race.
It's a length back to Successful Appeal, who moves a closer 3rd. Then along the rail, Hidden City is 4th. Then American Spirit and Is It Ever into the stretch. On the outside, Successful Appeal just blows right by 5-Star Day. Successful Appeal draws off, leads it 2.5. Then 5-Star Day, Hidden City. Here comes American Spirit. Successful Appeal impressively draws off.
Trainer John Kimmel and jockey Edgar Prado go 2 for Turfway with Florida breds by Valid Appeal. First, Regally Appealing, now 3-year-old Successful Appeal wins the sprint by 6 lengths in fast time. Buyer speed figure 1:19. 5-Star Day, the 3-5 favorite, had the slower part of the track down closer to the inside, so it was a good effort for both horses. And here's a look at the winner's circle. Notice no John Kimmel. That's because Kimmel stayed in New York to saddle beaten Vosburgh favorite Crafty Friend. We like Turfway today, so here's the Turfway Breeders' Cup Stakes for fillies and mares. Grade 3, 1 1/16. Fading down on the inside, back in 4th. That's Countess Diana, charging to the front in the middle. Number 7, Ruby Surprise, a 10-1 shot ridden by Willie Martinez. Led in 2nd is gaining ground, but settles for 2nd. Ruby Surprise by a length. Ruby Surprise, a daughter of Farm Away, trained by Bob Holthus, gets the win. A nice 2nd for Let. The AP Indy filly caught down on the rail for part of the race. And now let's rewind to the start for you trip handicappers. Watch the far outside. Bella Chiara and David Flores. You've probably never seen a horse stumble that badly at the start and manage to keep its rider. Happier times here for winning jockey Willie Martinez, who subbed aboard Ruby Surprise for injured Joe Giudice. And another big race last weekend was north of the border at Woodbine, where Dawson's Legacy ran past 1-5 favorite Bucks Boy to win the Sky Classic handicap by 2.5 lengths and a course record for 1 3/8 miles on grass. Dawson's Legacy, recall, was second at 78-1 in the 97 Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Now he could be pointed for the Breeders' Cup Turf, along with Bucks Boy, of course, who won the Turf last year. More thoroughbred action later in the show. Next up to the plate, the quarter horses. Stay tuned. If you want to catch us next week, you got to keep up with the changing times. First airing Monday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. If you miss us then, Saturday, the next 2 showings of the digest. Now to the quarter horses. The fields are complete for 2 big events on MBNA America Challenge Championship night on October 30. The California Rep was the last piece of the qualifying puzzle for the finals of the $175,000 Sooner Trailer and the Professionals Choice Challenge. First, the Sooner Trailer for 3-year-olds, where the #1 horse Militante was the heavy favorite to grab his 3rd stakes win so far this year.
And away they go. And a good start for ladies and gents. Fodice also came away well. Militante now coming through down along the inside. A classic number is also right there. And running reckless as Fodice and My Strawberry Chick. Militante all going on strongly. Here comes My Strawberry Chick. Gonna be close. Militante maybe ahead.
Militante finishes strongly for jockey Roman Figueroa to beat My Strawberry Chick and Fodice by a neck. Militante now a perfect 4 for 4 in 1999 and figures to be tough to handle on his home ground in the Sooner Trailer final. Militante was a finalist in the 1998 All-American Futurity, but has really blossomed this year for trainer and part owner Blaine Schwanevelt. Partners John Andrini and Robbie Keller were also on hand as Militante pushed his career earnings over $154,000. Here's a complete look at the Sooner Trailer qualifiers. Vital Time won the American Airlines Challenge last year. And a victory in '99 keeps her in line for the Bayer Legend $1 million bonus, which is payable if she can also win the MBNA Challenge Championship in the year 2000. The California region of the Professionals' Choice for Claiming Horses featured the favorite, the 8 Cool Brown Dasher, and second choice, I'm Brenda's Baby.
And away they go. And a beautiful start for Cold Day and Hay, the perfect crime and Cool Brown Dasher. I'm Brenda's Baby all came away well as I'm Brenda's Baby. Now gains the lead. Cool Brown Dasher, Cold Day and Hay. I'm Brenda's Baby. Now Cool Brown Dasher coming on fast in the final strides. Very, very close. Either I'm Brenda's Baby or Cool Brown Dasher. It was too close to call.
Too close to call indeed. A dead heat between I'm Brenda's Baby inside and Cool Brown Dasher. Both 4-year-olds have worked their way up from the $5,000 claiming level to success in allowance and stakes company. I'm Brenda's Baby races for Manuel Carmona and trainer Rodney Hart and is ridden by Jackie Martin. Cool Brown Dasher is owned by Salvador Flores, who employs his nephews Jose Flores and Eddie Aceves as trainer and jockey. Since the California region can have only 1 representative on Challenge Championship night, a special drawing was held. This one was probably close too, and the winner of the drawing was I'm Brenda's Baby. In other challenge action, several non-wagering trials were held at Turf Paradise in Phoenix for the West-Southwest region. In the MCI WorldCom Challenge for 870-yard specialists, 4-6 proved best in the second trial division under jockey Brian Green. The well-traveled 4-year-old was racing at his 4th track this year. Seems to like Turf Paradise just fine. 4-6 has lived up to his name this year, dashing to 4 wins and 6 starts. Jerry Livingston trains the multiple stakes winner for owner Gary Schreiner. 4-6 will get a shot at his 3rd stakes win of the year in the MCI WorldCom West-Southwest Finals on October 10th. The 2-year-olds were out in force in trials for the American Airlines Regional. The fastest qualifier, Chick Starlight, came from the 2nd of 5 trial heats.
They're off and running. That's Ron's memory breaking in towards the fence. Mega Task up to a good start. Chick Starlet out in the middle of the track. Gypsy Air's out in the center. It's Chick Starlet out in front. Ron's Memory on the inside. It's Chick Starlet to win. Ron's Memory second.
Chick Starlight runs a record to 3 wins in 4 starts with the fastest clocking of the day. Ron's Memory is proved second fastest. Third place finisher I'm the Fast Man was just barely fast enough, recording the 10th best time. Chick Starlight was third in the Phoenix Futurity over this track in April and could be favored to grab her first stakes win in the West-Southwest Finals. Berkeley Packer was aboard the filly. There's Berkeley, who races for owner Robert Pulse and trainer Lynn Melton. Also a good deal of action in this trial division with Jody's Task and Agent of Fortune drawn side by side.
They're off and running. That's Agents of Fortune on the outside, getting away to a quick start. Famous Einstein between horses. SRQH going wide open down the inside. Miss Taylor's Cash down at the rail. It's Jody's Task on the outside. Miss Taylor's Cash. It's Jody's Task to win it.
Jody's Task finishes well to get the decision over Agents of Fortune, who also showed good late kick. Miss Taylor's Cash made it a threesome of qualifiers from this heat. Jody's Task is owned by Marvin and Ellie Seelig and ridden by Sam Thompson. His trainer, Donna MacArthur, is part of a decidedly all-American flavor to this American Airlines West-Southwest final. Back in 1997, Donna won the sport's richest event with champion Corona Cash. 7-time All-American winner Jack Brooks has qualified a pair for the West-Southwest finals. And the most recent winner is also represented. John Bassett enjoyed his biggest career victory less than a month ago. And that lovin' feeling hasn't worn off yet. Through last weekend, the top jockeys in the Money One standings continue to be number 1, Jerry Bailey, and number 2, Pat Day. And now more thoroughbreds. This is the city, Franklin, Kentucky, home of Kentucky Downs, which hosts the Kentucky Cup grass races. And the biggest race at Kentucky Downs, as always, this year it's the $300,000 Kentucky Cup Turf Handicap. And here it is.
And we come to the head of the stretch, more than 2 furlongs to go. Yuckthon right where he was a year ago on the lead and trying to hang on. Royal Strand to his outside. Here's Far East in between horses. Payzone still there along the inside. Yuckthon trying to hang on. Here is Payzone to the inside, and it's Far East between horses. And on the outside of those, Williams News is charging late. They come to the wire. Yuckthon trying to hang on. Far East, Yuckthon, those 2 to the wire. It will be Far East by a hard-fought head.
An all-Irish finish. Shane Sellers relaxes Faris off the pace and wins it by a neck over defending champ Yuckthon. Kentucky Downs supposedly confusing the jockeys. So Sellers said, when I get to the end of that 2-story brick building at the top of the stretch, I'm going to go for it. And he did. Right after the race, Shane hopped over to Nashville to lay down some vocal tracks for his new album. That's right, singing Shane Sellers, everyone. The favorite players were singing the blues after the $200,000 Kentucky Cup mile. The pace setters went into reverse. They're all changing places here and emerging from the pack in the blue and the pink. That's Dernier Croix. To his outside in the yellow cap, it's Treat Me Doc. Dernier Croix and Robbie Alvarado inside. Treat Me Doc and John Court to the outside. They're fighting it out. Here's the wire. Treat Me Doc by a head. The Illinois bred pays a pot full, 65.80 to win. The favorite in Kappa was 6th. Treat Me Doc, a 5-year-old gelding, was 3rd in this race last year, but hadn't run since May 22nd. Owned by partners Howard Nelson and Dan Johns. His trainer, and I'm going to attempt this, Eugene Bruszewski. There's John Court right there, victorious in the winner's circle. Finally, we present the Kentucky Cup Ladies Turf Handicap at a mile. We should be getting a kickback from these Kentucky Cup people. On the lead in slow fractions is Pleasant Temper, who won this race last year and is the 3-5 favorite to repeat.
Less than 3/8 of a mile to run now, and it's Pleasant Temper cruising along like a odds-on favorite should. She turns for home with a clear lead under Pat Day. Pleasant Temper, the one to catch. Formal Tango set sail. Prado's Pride still there, but they've got much to do if they're going to catch Pleasant Temper. She's cruising down the lane right now. Now here comes Prado's Pride and Formal Tango. The lead is shrinking, and inside the furlong pole, here is the favored Pleasant Temper cruising, and it's very tight in there for second. Pleasant Temper is going to win it by 4.
The half in 49 seconds. 6 furlongs, 1:14-1. Pat Day walking the dog. These fillies can't give Pleasant Temper a lead like that because they'll never catch up, and they didn't. Second favorite, Formal Tango, no shot to get to Keeneland grad Pleasant Temper, who now has won 5 stakes races this year for her owner, Mark Stanley, and her trainer, Elliott Walden. And there's Elliott in the winner's circle with Pleasant Temper. And while we're on the topic of Elliott Walden, now's a good chance to slide in this nugget. He was the UTTA Trainer of the Month for August. That pick was pretty much a no-brainer when you consider Walden's record for the month, which included at least 4 big stakes wins. This one was Ecton Park splashing home to win the Jim Dandy for 3-year-olds at Saratoga. Also in the month, Victory Gallop took the Whitney at Saratoga. Pleasant Temper won the Ballston Spa. And this was the Haskell Invitational. That's Menifee 3 wide outside of Forestry and Cat Thief. This took place about an hour after Ecton Park's win in the Jim Dandy. A big doubleheader that day for Elliott Walden. The UTTA and Walmax salute 36-year-old Elliott Walden, the August Trainer of the Month. Now a few newsmakers, beginning with the Oak Tree at Santa Anita season, which begins this week amid a $20 million construction project that's still unfinished. But the product on the track is ready to roll. Saturday's Yellow Ribbon features the first start of the year for Fiji, last year's champion grass female and defending champion in this race, as she tries to make the new Breeders' Cup filly and mare turf. The Yellow Ribbon should be a great one, among others expected to run Tranquility Lake, Tuzla, and Spanish Fern. Meanwhile, Arlington International Racecourse near Chicago has a finished track. One of the best in the world, in fact. Unfortunately, it's been closed since October 1997. But you can mark May 14th, 2000 on your calendar. That's the date Arlington is officially scheduled to reopen. The Illinois Racing Board has granted Arlington 100 racing dates next year through September 30, and the track intends to give away as much as $400,000 in daily purses in July and August. And coming up this Sunday, the Arc de Triomphe, one of the world's most prestigious and demanding races at Longchamp near Paris. A field of 22 expected, 3 from the Godolphin stable, including this one, De Lamy, whose victory in this race, the Irish Champion Stakes, might be the single best performance by a racehorse this year anywhere. We'll show you the Arc, the Yellow Ribbon, the Super Derby, and more on next week's Racehorse Digest. Remember, the first airing Monday at 2:30.
Ground transportation provided by National Car Rental, the official car rental company of the National Thoroughbred Racing Association.
Artax can be inconsistent, but he ends a 6-race losing streak with this runaway victory in the Vosburgh at Belmont, which might earn him a spot in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.